I have 10 adopted siblings, also all with special needs. And my parents started homeschooling after I did. And my parents will actually be homeschooling longer than me.
Oh, how funny.
Mine final years this year, but my dad is still homeschooling. He's got 3 at home of my siblings. And so it's become a family thing.
There just are so many parents who are like, I can't, I've got this child who's just difficult. They're on the spectrum somewhere and I don't even know what to do with them. Or maybe you've got a parent who is somewhere on the spectrum and they're not sure exactly that they, whether or not they can even do this. And if you've got more than one child who has specialized learning needs, that can be even more difficult. And so these parents are just saying, how can we do this? What do we do? How do we get started? And maybe your child is in school and you're feel that tug on your heart to bring them home, but you just don't know if you can. And so Peggy's here to encourage you, and not just to encourage you, but to give you some really fantastic resources on how you can bring your kids home. So first, tell us, Peggy, a little bit about yourself and your ministry and what you're doing.
Sure. Yeah. So I sent my kids to private school thinking that was the only way I was going to manage this because I just found myself barely able to parent. And it didn't work out so well. I had the principal of the private school pull me into the office and said, there's an issue. You need, and I thought, oh, great. Everything's going to hit the fan. I am the worst parent of all. And no, she said, I think you need to have your son tested. And I was like, tested for what? No idea. Never heard of autism. But he tested on the spectrum, very, very intelligent, but yet social skills at the bottom. And the funny thing is when I came home with this diagnosis and started researching, there were a total of 3 books total that existed on high functioning autism at that time. And I explained the diagnosis to my mom and she goes, well, that's you. And I went, well, it makes a lot of sense now. But yeah. So anyway, so we started homeschooling. Again, it wasn't my choice, but my next one was in preschool. So he came along and then eventually my daughter was born and all 3 of my kids are on the spectrum as well as me. And it's funny because I have 10 adopted siblings, also all with special needs. And my parents started homeschooling after I did. And my parents will actually be homeschooling longer than me.
Oh, how funny.
Mine final years this year, but my dad is still homeschooling. He's got 3 at home of my siblings. And so it's become a family thing. But so I've learned a lot through them. I've learned a lot through my own journey. But then I've also worked for 2 different state organizations, both in Minnesota and Texas, before forming SPED Homeschool in 2017 to reach a wider audience of parents all around the world, actually, to help them and empower them to homeschool their struggling learners and learners with just specialized learning needs.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.